I'm sorry I'm so late, guys. I'm back um, in the USSR. So how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I'm going to talk about some things. I'm really limited here. Remember, because when you're talking about CPS, you're talking about people's children. So I've had to, I want to make sure that I expose every bit of the disgustingness that's going on. But I'm really apprehensive to show you guys anything that could jeopardize the identity of a child. And so it's a small town. I want to make sure that we don't in any way, shape, or form, like Jane Doe. Jane Doe has a right to be private. What happened to her as a minor, she has a right to remain private. And so I'm gonna show you guys a couple things here. So first, let's call out Jodi Conkle. Let's call her out, and let's call out Judge Buckley. And I think this is in Kentucky. I think Judge Buckley's in Kentucky in the tri-state. This is Jodi Conkle on Facebook, everybody. So that's Jodi Conkle's Facebook page. So when I put out my feelers about Jodi Conkle and about CPS, the information that I got back is that she'll take a case that's ex parte, where one person files, and then she takes a report for that one person, and then that's the final decision. Jodi Conkle's the judge. Why is that? And Jodi, the thing is that with Facebook, I have people who are your friend who report to me. I have people on your Facebook page who are friends with you, Ms. Conkle, who tell me about what you're doing. Just so you know, it's a small town, man. People love to talk. Any other friends of Jodi's, I'll be happy to take information from you as well. So Jodi, the thing that you do though, is it's a small town. And so, so let me explain to you guys what she did. Let me tell you what she did. So I'm just going to show you the back of the pages so that you guys can't see it, because I just don't want anybody to see anybody's name accidentally or a case number. I just don't want anybody to see anything. So Jodi Conkle, she gets a phone call from a friend of hers. And this friend of hers tells her that, hey, my ex had my daughter write a note that said that I raped her. So I want to file this emergency injunction to get custody of my children. That's what this person tells Jodi Conkle. So now a parent, whether that's your friend or not, I don't care if it's your best friend, I don't care if it's your sister or brother, I don't care. I don't care when it comes to children writing a note that says that they've been raped. And Jodi Conkle, she takes that person, that child, and she pulls them to the side. And all of a sudden that child changes their story. But Jodi, like I was showing, you're friends with the one, you're friends, Jodi. You guys are friends. The guy who said, hey, let's put an emergency order for my kid. And then you say you're a sheriff, you're a cop. When a little girl writes a note that she's been raped by her dad, you get the kid a guardian ad litem. Okay, so for people who know what this is and haven't been tortured by this woman, Jodi Conkle, a guardian ad litem is an attorney for the child, especially when the parents are divorced. When a child comes to you as the authority, or it's brought to your attention that the child is claiming abuse, physical, emotional, sexual abuse, then as a man of law, what I do is I immediately apply for a guardian ad litem from the state, a person who will represent the child, not law enforcement, not mommy, not daddy, not daddy's lawyer, not mommy's lawyer. It's called a guardian ad litem. Jodi Conkle, sheriff. You're a sheriff, Jodi? You're a shame. You're an absolute shame, Jodi Conkle. And anybody who has connections to Jody and can tell me where else she's been sinister. And then let me get them. It gets worse. It gets worse. Then Jody Conkle doesn't say, "Oh my God, there's a note here from a kid saying they got raped." There's a note here from a kid saying they were raped by their dad. Jody doesn't appoint a guardian ad litem. No. She fills out her report to the judge, Buckley, and says, "I interviewed the daughter and that's it." She said she changed her story. So then what do you think happens? The worst thing ever. The kid who has no representation then goes and lives with the parent who went to Jody. Jody. You take the kid to a temporary housing to find out if that abuse is real, and you download the kid. You don't have a side meeting real quick because your buddy said, "Hey, I need your help on this." And then Buckley, get this. Buckley, they schedule an emergency injunction, emergency hearing, so that the abuser, the accused abuser from the kid, there's no written note that said the other parent abused. There's a written note saying this parent abused. And then he goes to the court and says, "Hey, they wrote a note that said I abused, and so give me the kid." Think about that. The note wasn't about you. It was about the guy getting the kid. Think about it. You're a sane person. A note has been written that says I'm being abused sexually, and you're not going to get the kid a lawyer? The guy who came down there in Ironton that day that the press had defamed me and said, you're putting our kids in danger. It seems like your kids are in danger by the people in your community that you're distrusting. You should not trust them. Where's the transparency? It gets worse. So Buckley, they schedule an emergency hearing for the kid. And so the emergency hearing, I can't give you dates because I'm just not going to give away any information. So they schedule, what's today's date? So they schedule an emergency hearing. Let's say it's for yesterday, but it wasn't yesterday, but let's just say it was yesterday. And when Buckley gets the first ex parte motion for custody, because the other parent lied about me or made my kid write this note, then the judge, as soon as he reads what Jody Conkle says, he stamps it. So say yesterday is the 10th, go back, he stamps it April 5th. The motion is considered good April 5th. The other party hasn't been heard who's losing their children. Buckley, you stamped it before you made a decision? You stamped it? I made my decision? You haven't talked to the other parent? I don't care if the other parent made the kid write the note. You talk to the other parent, you give the other parent due process of law. So now the parents who the kid wrote the note, because the parents, now they have to go through a process to get their kid back. They have to go through a process to get the child back who wrote down on a piece of paper that they were being sexually abused by their other parent. You got to hear from both sides. And by the way, making a kid write a note that claims the other one did something untold, while it's certainly bad, it may be not a reason between two couples to say, we're going to take your kid away. how dirty do couples get at the end of a relationship? How dirty does it get? How many people have had I've seen people who've had a really clean breakup, but a lot of people, when they have a breakup, it's real dirty, it's real bad, it's real ugly. They have this hatred for one another, like as much as they loved each other. I've seen it myself 100 times. That's not a reason to strip your child away. You manipulated the kid to write some stupid stuff. Okay, you're horrible. If there was an actual investigation, if both parties had been interviewed, if some guardian ad litem, a third party, had interviewed the person who wrote the note, that would have been great. Even if Judge Buckley had said, bring the kid in front of me, was Judge Buckley aware of the note? The lawyer was aware of the note. Was Judge Buckley aware of the note? Because he just rushed through the hearing real quick and just granted full custody now, immediately, for the person who the note was written about. So did Judge Buckley know about the note? Did Judge Buckley know? It's a fair question, Mr. Buckley. You can't be held accountable for anything you do behind the bench, but you could be held criminally accountable, I imagine, if you knew about that note and you didn't at least take some steps to get justice. I mean, that's the first job of a judge. Justice. That's the first job. Number one job. Number one job. To uphold justice. That's the number one job of a judge. There's nothing else a judge is supposed to do. Uphold justice. Number one. Uphold the oath to the Constitution. Yeah, I'm for rule of law. People who call me a sovereign citizen, you're stupid. I'm not. I'm 100% for rule of law. I follow the law. You follow the law. We all have to follow the law. So, Jody, your friend told me about you. Your friend, Jody, a friend of yours, someone you wouldn't think told me about you, Jody. And now that we know what Jody does, how she pulls favors, did the lawyer know about the note? The lawyer, I called the lawyer because if I find out the lawyer knew about the note, and I'm going to file a complaint with the Kentucky bar because I think it's over in Kentucky. I think. No, it's up in Sausalito. It's West Virginia. So sorry, guys. I can't remember which. And it's probably better I don't remember which county it's in. It's right here in the tri-state area, though. It's a family right here in the tri-state area. So just think about that. Just think about that. Just imagine that your kid wrote a note, whether just say you were trying to cause a commotion and you were just a horrible person and you forced your kid to write a note that said, my other person, the other parent is sexually abusing me, actually sleeping with me. Then you're a dog-ishy person if you did that, right? Could you be bitter about the breakup? Could you be bitter and doing anything you could? Yeah, could you be just a bitter little pill if that was you? If that's what you were doing? Sure. Take your kid away from you because you're unethical? There's a lot of people who are unethical. Is the kid in danger? No. It's not a reason to strip your kid, not an emergency strip your kid. So Buckley, that's not a good reason. Judge Buckley, that's not a good reason. Oh, the kid made another kid write a note and these two couples hate each other or they don't. I don't know what the situation is. Doesn't matter. There's not a reason to strip your kid. So, I was going to let you guys listen to a voicemail, but you know what? I don't know all the facts yet, and I don't want to tip the hand of who the lawyer is and get anybody chasing down anybody yet. But I did tell the lawyer today on a phone call that if I found out that you knew about the note and you didn't say, I don't care who my client is, I have a note from a minor writing that this person's raping me, I would immediately contact a guardian ad litem for that kid. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't love the state, but that's a pretty severe accusation to read in writing in a child's handwriting. It's pretty gut wrenching. I'm glad that the child is safe and won't be identified, but it's pretty disgusting. It's pretty disgusting. It's pretty nasty. To see the child's handwriting, I've seen the note. I've read the note. And then to think that an officer of the court, a lawyer, would see the same note that I saw and not go, hey, man, I'm sorry, but I've got to get the kid representation. The kid needs representation. It can't be me ethically, and it can't be you because of the accusation. It can't be the mom because she may have made the kid write the note. You're right. She could have. But the kid at this age, at this time in their life, they need representation, someone to represent their needs, where they can pull them to the side and not say, well, this person might go to prison forever if you keep this story. And cops would never do that, would they? Cops would never manipulate a kid. The police, especially a sheriff, especially someone who signs up to hurt people and take people's children, she would never say, hey, don't say this about your parent. Admit you're lying. And then the kid changes their mind. Cop would never do that because they're good people. I was wrong about something. I want to say this now because the last talk I had, when I talked about my conversation I had with God, I wanted to talk about this. I was wrong. I hope that pig who had the blue flag in Dallas, I hope he got to go to heaven. When I tore that blue terror flag down, I said, burn in hell. But after I understand the process I went through when I talked about it earlier, I thought about meeting God and when that feeling of being forgiven for everything, I hope that pig gets that same thing that I got. I hope he gets forgiven, and I hope he gets to walk in paradise with God and live forever and feel eternal gratitude and forgiveness and love. I hope he gets that. I hope we all get that, because this life is not simple. And if you care and you have a heart and you care about other people, when you find out the things that I found out and the things that I've seen, if you don't remember that your job is to lead and your job is to stay strong and your job is to push and persevere and keep going no matter what. It's not my job to cry. It's my job to get it done. And sometimes I'll cry. But it's not my job to weep over every story I hear and every single injustice that happens. It's my job to push forward and to take every gift that God gave me and lead. And that's why I'm here now to say I was wrong. I hope that cop who died on the side of the road in Dallas, I hope he gets to go to heaven. I hope God forgives him as he forgave me the one time I got touched by God. And I hope he gets the same thing that I got. I was incorrect. I was wrong. It's that simple. You should want even the worst of people to get to experience the touch of God. You should want that for every person, so that the moment God touches you, you realize the failures that you did. That's the best way to put it. And so I hope he can go to heaven. And I was wrong for saying it. And so to his friends and family, I'm sorry for saying that when I tore down that blue terrorist flag. But I'm glad the terrorist flag was torn down. I don't think he should burn in hell, though. I don't think that. And I don't think there is hell. I don't believe in hell. So I just want to be clear on that, because I'm a real man. I'm a real person. And so I can say when I think I'm wrong, because I've been thinking about it. And it's not just, this wasn't just the one talk I had, but I've been thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And I shouldn't wish hell upon anybody, because they're the dungeons of America. If you want to wish hell upon someone, just tell them to go to any jail in America and be a nobody, and then watch how you're treated like your life doesn't matter. And the hell of America is on earth. So when these pigs take people to jail, I naturally just have an inclination to really not like them and dislike them as people. Like Jody Conkle. Jody, one of your friends told me about you, Jody. One of your friends. That all the power you have, you use to do what? Tip friends, to help people out. You're friends with these people here, and then you're deciding one side of the story and the other side, the ex parte is what it's called in a court case. Jody. I've read the Bible front to back. I don't subscribe to the religion. I subscribe to God and God only. So I accept myself as I am, and I accept what I am, and I don't have to believe in your book to still have eternal life and salvation forever and ever and ever. So I won't be pushed into subscribing to anything I don't subscribe to. So it's just that simple. I'm a little raw dog because, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Did anybody care about the well-being of the child? Did anybody care about the well-being of the child who wrote a note Did anybody? Did anybody? Did anybody think just maybe the kid, young person might have something to say, that maybe we should talk to the young person? Did no one decide to hear what the young person had to say? Because you put a cop with a young person, you might as well put a bull in a ring with a red cape. So far, what we've seen, any good representation of the policing here has been rolled into one word: spooge. Right? That's the representation of the police with children here. So you isolated this kid with Jody, and then the kid changed their story from what they wrote down with their own hand. By the way, just so you know, if you really want to learn, the best way I ever learned was actually writing with my own hand, writing down the words. So, Jody, honestly, there's more stuff I want to show you guys, but I just want to be careful not to identify anybody's family members when it comes to CPS. Jody investigates a lot of kids. She's involved with a lot of kids' families. And if any of those families have information you want to tell me about Jody and about what exactly she really does, you guys do me a favor, hit the like button down there below. Listen, if you guys want to support what I'm doing, go to my online store, DeletelawZ, and get the trifold for your car and use the trifold. Get one of my e-posters, ebooks. I have to continue, because we have 2 more lawsuits this week. We're going to sue for Yunez, and we're going to get Jane Doe's lawsuit going out of Lawrence County for what Spooge did to her when she was in junior high and high school, and then you left Jody Conkle alone with a kid who's in junior high school or high school. And you saw how the cops are there with children, patting them down in the bathrooms alone. And that man came to me and was concerned for the welfare of his children because I was there. No children have written notes about me. I've not patted down any of your high school girls in the bathroom alone. You're concerned about your children? I am too. Me too. I'm deeply concerned about your children. Yes, for sure. Yes, I am. I'm concerned. I think you should be concerned too. I think you should get those cops out of your school. The principal has given discipline to the police department. So if you're goofing off in the hallway and the teacher goes, "Hey, officer," and then the cop steps in and says, "Stop goofing off," and he's a cop, get those cops out of your high school. Get the cops out of your high school. Get the cops out of your high school. Hit that number 1 button, will you? Everybody hit the number 1 button. Everybody hit number 1 right there, and then write in what state or city or country you're watching from so I can understand who's in the room. Just everybody do it, and everybody hit your like button. There's only 162. Take your finger and just hit the like. Just take it, just take it, just bam, and then subscribe. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Do you hear me? Go down and hit the subscribe button. You hear me? Go hit the subscribe and hit the bell notifications and follow the story, because we don't stop under any circumstances whatsoever. This train never stops. Australia's in the house. VA, what's up, Philly? Iowa, good to see you. Number 1, New Jersey representing. Good to see you, Jersey. Virginia, Kentucky, Southern Oregon, Cleveland. Subscribe. Thank you. Subscribe, everybody. Go subscribe. Hit the bell notification button and hit the like button, and let's blow this up. Because and I say for us to become executive, because when I'm executive of the great state of Ohio, I'm going to wear glasses that film every bill I look at. You're going to get to see everything I see. I'm not going to hide anything from you guys. You're going to get to see every single thing I see. I'm going to bring the digital era into the governor's house right there in the great state of Ohio. Every single bill I sign, you'll be able to see right through my glasses. I'll air it right out to the public. If I have to sit there and redact names and stuff first, I'll do that, because every bill that comes across the desk of this governor, when I'm governor of the great state of Ohio, I will make sure the people get to see it right through my camera glasses. You get to see the same things I see. Why not? If I'm the executive in charge, you should get to see every single thing I do. Every single check I write, you should get to see it. You should get to see every dime that I appropriate and I spend. You should get to see every single bill that goes through that House and through that Senate, so you know where your money's going. Because the way it's going right now is not working. If the way it was going now was working, you guys wouldn't even know who I am. I'm going to miss California. I'll tell you, I've lived in California for 20 years. I've lived in Cali for 20 years. I've lived there for 20 years. God bless you guys, man. Thank you so much for coming. And listen, I swear, man, I tell you, I'm on a mission and I can't stop. And when I wake up in the morning, I just want to just keep going. And it's constant. It's a drumbeat in my head that I can't slow down. I can't negotiate with. I can't stop it. I can't stop looking at my phone and hearing stories and calling people back and then trying to figure out if we can sue them. If we can sue them for hurting you, I can't stop. It's like OCD meets adrenaline times energy times EMC squared. I was in Houston to meet with my legal partner down there, Bobby, and I'm going to introduce you guys to Bobby soon. But you guys have to remember, listen to me, the people, we are the change. We're the change. We're the new era. We're the new thing. We're the new kid on the block. We're the Whig Party. The Whig Party. The Whig Party emerged, and the Whig Party had all of the right ideas and some very horrific ideas, but it was an alternative, and it won. And it won because these other two parties weren't working for the people. It wasn't working out for the people. It was going terrible. And so the Whig Party was born. And it stayed around for like 2 or 3 election cycles, and then it got developed by the Democratic Party. But it had its time. And so that's what our time is now. And you guys can see the numbers here, the people who come here, who care, truly, truly care about liberty and freedom and the Bill of Rights. It's just growing. That's why I asked you guys to subscribe and share the channel. Get bigger. We have to get bigger, especially in Ohio and the tri-state area. I'm gonna clean it up. I'm gonna clean it up. All you dirty cops, you guys are gonna have to figure it out because I tell you what, we're coming to transparency. I'm just gonna change the system because I can't clean up all these dirty cops. We have to change the system. So I have to be the executive of Ohio to say this is the new system of Ohio. And that's what I'll do. And of course, that'll center right in tri-state because I'm gonna clean that whole area up. And then once we infect West Virginia and Kentucky, then it just continues all through the United States. You guys are going to love transparency. It's such a better system. It is such a better system. It is amazing. Hey, yeah, I do love pot. That's for sure. Who doesn't love pot? I think it's just silly that people. Did you know this in Ironton, Ohio? When I talk to people, sometimes I go, so you're addicted to drugs, and they'll go, well, I do smoke pot, and I'm like, dude. It's this old idea in the center and in the small towns that pot is some horrifically illegal or bad thing. In the cities now, especially in California and New York, it's so normalized that you just don't notice it. When I was an executive in Manhattan in 2012, and I was living right there on the Upper East Side, Lower East Side, people smoke pot on the street. It's just so normal. It's a normal thing. And then when I hear people say, well, I do smoke pot, then I'm like, just so you guys know, you guys can go to my website, DeletelawZ, and you can download the LaGuardia report. It's all about marijuana. How many people here, just tell me, yes, I've read it, no, I haven't. How many people have read the LaGuardia report? It is so easy to read. It is not even a hard read. You don't have to be super smart. It's on my website. It's free. You just go to my website. It says downloads. Click on it. LaGuardia report. It's all about marijuana. If you haven't read it, just take the time to just scan it. Just read the first couple pages, then go to the tests. Go to the aptitude tests and go to the motivational tests and go to the test they talk about sex. Just go and appetite tests and motivational tests. And they do double blind tests with people who smoke weed to try to figure things out. And what they end up finding out is that marijuana has no major character changes. It doesn't really change your character. We've kind of used it as this, it's been abused to this idea where people still in Ironton will say, well, I smoke pot. It's like, what are you talking about, man? Everybody smokes pot. 50% of the population smokes pot, rich or poor, black or white, blue or green, yellow or pink, Half the people smoke pot. You don't have to feel bad about it at all. At all. And some of the people who shame you for smoking pot, they go smoke pot. Just so you know. Just so you know. Jeff fucking Lloyd. I keep seeing his name pop in here. So is everybody watching the Terry Era, the documentary I made last year? So good with Jeff F. and Lloyd. I'm really doing my best because one of my friend's kids told me today that I always slip. I always use one bad word. He said, you always make one bad word every time you do a broadcast. So I'm going to really try not to curse. I'm really going to try not to curse. It's really, really bad. So listen, I want you guys to read the report, but more than anything else, what do I want? I want you to sign the Recall Jeff Lawless petition. I want you to fill out the ironton.ohiopetition.com. Wolverine Transparency, good to see you, brother. So, I want you guys to fill those, especially if you're from the Ohio. Who's Ohioan in here? I'm about to be an Ohioan. Can you believe that? That is such a trip. I honestly never in my life considered moving to Ohio. You know that? I mean, I talked to one of my best friends today back in LA, a guy named David, and I said to David, I'm coming back to Ohio, Mandy. And I said to David, when I left LA, you remember I was coming right back. I was just going to be gone for a few weeks, and I was going to come back. And then, hey, how you doing, New Hampshire Chickie? Good to see you. And so I was going to just go and come right back. And then when I got to Ohio, and I saw that there was a whole tri-state of corruption, and CPS has people like Jody Conkle in it, who take the story from your friend's kid and then go, yep, I kid changed their mind. Kid changed their mind, huh? Just wrote a note like that. Mom just made the kid write the note like that. So, that's the thing though, and I want you guys to understand, when I lay out transparency for you in the next, by this weekend, it should be, I'm building a whole set for transparency so that you guys can see it. And the new system just takes advantage of the digital era, and we're going to change it. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. So all the connections with Jody Conkle, if anybody of you guys have lost your kid because Jody Conkle, I'd like to hear from you. irontontransparency@gmail.com. irontontransparency@gmail.com. And then you guys make sure that you hit the like button, share the channel, and let's grow it. Let's keep going because we can't stop. I mean, if you guys are new and a lot of new people are coming, listen, you don't understand. The people come here are on a mission because I'm on a mission, or you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. If you didn't say this country has to be changed, then you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here because I'm nuts about it. I'm literally crazy about law and order, that we follow the rule of law. And so that's what the people here are too. That's it. Anyway, I've been talking for 33 minutes. I got to go. Listen, I got nothing but love for you guys. If you guys have any questions, please go by DeletelawZ.com. Pick up my digital trifold. If you want it for free, put the word free trifold, and that's for the $15 one that you download and you print out yourself. And you use that digital trifold. And if you want to get my trifold, it's $25, and we ship it to you from LA. It's on indestructible paper. So, but you should have the trifold. And that's why I give it for free. Free trifold. Put that in the coupon code at checkout so you can print it at home and have it in your car and you never talk to cops. I've made plenty of videos about it. I got to get out of here. God bless you guys. God bless the United States. And remember, we don't stop. We don't stop under any circumstances. We never stop. We never stop until we get to the top and we change the system. All right. I'll see you guys, man.